At the same time, American distillers are facing mounting pressure abroad as tariff clashes and Canadian boycotts threaten their exports.
The parent company of Jack Daniel's and Woodford Reserve, Brown-Forman CEO, cites a challenging economic environment, including tariffs.
Fair is fair. It's still going to be banned until they cut the tariffs or we make a deal with them. It's not coming on our shelves.
So if
our wine is up over 67%, wine sales for Ontario.
What if I told you that Canada just pulled off a move so bold, it turned supermarket shelves into weapons of war? Sounds dramatic, right? But that's exactly what's happening. Ontario's Premier, Doug Ford, just banned American alcohol from Canadian stores. And while it might look like a fight over booze, it's actually a story about power, leverage, and the unraveling of U.S. influence. Because behind every empty bottle of bourbon and every missing six-pack of Budweiser is a much bigger question. Is America's dominance collapsing, one shelf at a time? Doug Ford didn't sugarcoat it. He looked at reporters and said, "It's not coming on our shelves until the U.S. changes its tariffs or makes a deal." And just like that, American alcohol vanished from Ontario. No bourbon, no California wine, no Budweiser on the shelves. The result? Within weeks, Ontario's local wine sales skyrocketed by 67%. Canadian brands that used to sit in the shadow of U.S. giants suddenly had the spotlight. At first glance, it sounds like a minor trade spat. But peel back the layers and you'll see, it's much bigger. This all traces back to Washington's tariff war. The Trump administration slapped 50% tariffs on Canadian steel, claiming it would protect American workers. But instead of folding, Canada hit back hard. 25% tariffs on U.S. goods, with Ford pushing for even higher rates on aluminum, copper, and forestry. The alcohol ban wasn't a side issue, it was payback. A clear message that Canada wouldn't be bullied. And here's the twist. While Trump promised tariffs would save American jobs, they're now destroying them. Farmers, distillers, exporters, people who once depended on Canada, their second biggest market, are now locked out. Tariffs meant to show U.S. strength have exposed its weakness. Think about it. For decades, Canadian stores carried American booze like it was part of everyday life. Jack Daniel's, Budweiser, California wines. They weren't just drinks. They were cultural exports. But Doug Ford flipped the script. By banning them, he turned something as ordinary as a liquor shelf into a geopolitical weapon. Every missing bottle is more than lost profit. It's lost influence. Every Canadian customer who swaps California wine for Ontario's is another reminder that America's grip isn't permanent. The shelves themselves became a battlefield. And for once, America isn't winning. So, who's coming out on top? On one side, Canadian producers are thriving. Ontario wineries, once struggling against U.S. marketing giants, now can't keep up with demand. Craft breweries that used to sit in Budweiser's shadow now dominate the shelves. Distilleries once overlooked are now front and center. On the other side, American exporters are bleeding. Farmers in Iowa, barley growers in North Dakota, distilleries in Kentucky, vineyards in California. These aren't faceless corporations. They're real people watching their sales vanish. And it doesn't stop there. Trucking companies, ports, distributors, all tied to that supply chain, are watching contracts evaporate. Canada's win isn't just economic, it's psychological. It's showing its people that when they stand up, they win. Meanwhile, U.S. workers are realizing tariffs aren't protecting them. They're cutting them off. And here's where things get brutal. Quebec officials have already warned. Huge stockpiles of U.S. alcohol are sitting in warehouses, at risk of expiring. Imagine the optics. Barrels of Kentucky bourbon poured down drains. Pallets of Budweiser dumped as waste. It's not just economic loss. It's humiliation. The kind of imagery that lingers, spreads online, and cuts deep into America's reputation. Because let's be real, losing money hurts. But losing face? That's worse. And this humiliation has political consequences on both sides of the border. This fight over booze is just the beginning. Doug Ford made it clear, if America can weaponize tariffs, then Canada can weaponize its shelves. Today, it's bourbon and beer. Tomorrow, it could be beef, or cars, or even pharmaceuticals. Every American product on a Canadian shelf is now a bargaining chip. And the message to Washington is unmistakable. Canada won't just sit back and take the hits. It will hit back, and sometimes harder. And that changes everything. Because suddenly, America isn't the only one setting the terms in North America. For decades, the U.S. assumed Canada would always play along, that its size alone guaranteed compliance. But in 2025, the script has flipped. Tariffs haven't rebuilt American dominance. They've exposed its fragility. Ontario's 67% surge in wine sales isn't just about alcohol, it's a signal, a glimpse into a future where Canadian industries rise while American exports stumble. And let's be clear, this isn't just about trade, it's about credibility. Allies are looking at Washington and asking, if America can't even keep Canada on its side, what does that say about its leadership everywhere else? The shelves in Ontario are telling a story louder than any politician's speech. America's dominance is no longer guaranteed. So here's the real cliffhanger. If America can lose its place on supermarket shelves in Ontario, what else can it lose tomorrow? Minerals? Energy markets? Defense contracts? The truth is, the collapse of influence doesn't happen all at once. It happens bottle by bottle, shelf by shelf, deal by deal. Doug Ford's ban on American alcohol isn't just about booze, it's about leverage. It's about Canada showing that it can push back and win. And the bigger question is, can America stop the decline before it spreads beyond control? Because today, it's bourbon. Tomorrow, it could be everything.